Marc Spears, Yahoo, here on Tim and Sid. A lot of things happening early, Mark. I know it's an 82-game season, but there's places we can go.
Raptors going undefeated, baby.
Well, say that one more time.
Raptors going undefeated after the Celtics performance.
Anyways, I don't know, but they recovered from a bad third quarter, though. The one thing that the Raptors would do a year ago and the year before and the year before, you give up 72% shooting in the third quarter, that team would fold like a chair made out of people.
They were playing the Celtics.
Yeah, the Celtics aren't great.
I mean, the Masai era is going to be fantastic. That's my guy. He's going to do a great job there. But even if they win tonight, I mean, the Hawks are not the Hawks of a couple of years ago. So, but that being said, I think they're one of those teams that you got to show up against. They'll sneak up on you.
We haven't talked to you since Drake became an employee of that team, have we?
No.
What do you think of that?
I think it's cool. I mean, I guess you got to get some kind of attention, right?
Yes. So yeah, any attention's good attention.
He brings that. He certainly reps Toronto hard. I mean, if he wasn't who he was, he would have got tackled at the dunk contest for running across the court during the dunk contest and putting chain on the winner.
It is amazing how
he reps Toronto.
You can see a guy's social standard for how much freedom he has on the floor of a dunk contest. It's true.
Because you saw the security guards.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, I really like to. Oh, that's Drake. They wanted to tackle him and beat him down until they realized who it was. And
they really wanted to.
And thought about it and said, that probably won't be a good idea publicly.
The difficult thing this year, Mark, in terms of watching the Raptors, as I read today that Andrew Wiggins within 8 minutes at Kansas has said he's coming out. No surprise. This will be his only year at Kansas.
Yeah.
I just the Raptors aren't going to be bad enough to be in play there. It's just I don't think they're going to be that poor.
Well, all you got to do is essentially have one of the top 5 worst records, and then the wink-wink lottery takes place.
I love the wink-wink lottery. Well, the theory I pitched to my co-host Tim McAuliffe, not here today, back on Monday, is that how do you deny the Raptors in a lottery on national television with Drake sitting there? If Drake is their rep at the lottery.
Yeah, but you got the power of the kid from Cleveland there too, man.
Yeah, he's good. But Drake, picture front of Yahoo Sports, Mark. Drake, Adam Silver, number 1. That's your shot.
Yeah, I want y'all to be good.
That's pretty good.
You know what? I shouldn't say this in Canada.
No, say it.
I think he's great, but I think people aren't giving Jabari Parker enough credit, too. He's really good, too.
Yeah, well, just Wiggins made it.
It's not going to be a foregone conclusion. I think it's going to be – I think there's 3 great freshmen. And I like the kid at Kentucky, too, Julius Randle. So, to me, it just depends on teams and who's picking. But I don't think it's going to be as locked down a number 1 pick that is Wiggins as everyone thinks. Because
really?
I just – and it's not to say that he's not fantastic or a franchise player. He is. But I think Jabari Parker and Julius Randle are special, too.
Marc Spears, Yahoo Sports. You're on Tim and Sid, Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
I think it comes down to the team, and what the team need is. But we'll talk about this later. But I think it's I'm sure Wiggins, I wouldn't be surprised if he's number 1. And I'm sure that'd be great for Canada to get it back-to-back. But don't sleep on these other 2 guys, too, because they're special as well.
It is amazing, though, to kind of hear you go down a road I've never heard. I mean, what was the SI cover? It wasn't the next one. What was the cover with Wiggins on the front of it?
I do everything online now. I don't.
It was something. It was the pressure it put on the kid was enormous. I'm trying off the top of my head. I should.
Jabari Parker is like laughing, like, thanks, you took it all away from me. I could just relax and play this season without all the spotlight. And I'm sure, that's a lot to put on that kid, man.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing is, I bet you 90% of these people haven't even seen the kid play yet.
Yeah, a lot of it's talk. A lot of it's hype. A lot of it's magazine covers.
Yeah.
And up here, a lot of it's because he's from Thornhill.
Yeah. And like I said, he's a great player, but it's putting a lot on him. You know, he's not asking for it. He's not turning it away, but he's not asking for it.
He's not hating it.
I just hope he could somehow just be able to relax a little bit. I mean, like even that Adidas story that came out. Come on, man, that's a little grandiose, isn't it?
Well, I mean, nowadays you never know, right? I mean, there's so much in this sport. There's so much going around. Who knows? But I just hope the kid is around people that look out for his best interests.
Well, I know he's got good parents to help him that have been athletes, so that helps. But they got some. It appears to be, from my dealings with him already, and I've interviewed him a couple times at the Hoop Summit, that he does have some good people around him, which
is great to hear. Marc Spears,
and he doesn't have a huge ego. Although I know there's a Canadian reporter that might think otherwise. I think he's in a good place.
Who's the reporter? What am I missing?
No, I'm not going to put him out there right now.
Oh, really? Oh, we'll talk off air.
Just do your research.
All right. Well, first time for everything for me.
We're at the Hoop Summit.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll dig a little deeper on that. Marc Spears, Yahoo Sports here on.
Giving you a tip.
I like that tip.
See what readers or listeners can figure it out before we're off the air.
All right. I hope they can, because I can't. It's pretty good. Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and 360. Melo, I'm watching TNT for 2 times over 3 nights.
Mm-hmm.
Melo really became a talking point. And it looked like those guys were flat out challenging him as a superstar. And the whole notion of becoming a free agent and what it means and what it should mean, it became a summit on what exactly superstars are doing, and Carmelo Anthony is entering a year where he can opt out. Do you think Melo hears that kind of stuff? Do the guys on that set have that kind of sway in terms of talking about a superstar and challenging them to be great instead of just opting out and going wherever it's convenient?
Well, Melo, from my dealings with him, and I covered the first 6 years of his career, Melo's going to do what Melo wants to do. He ain't listening to them guys. And I think he got beat up enough during the first couple years of his career, a lot of it self-induced, that he's thick-skinned. It's a business in the end. He realized it, and he's earned the right to go look elsewhere. Now, will he lose a lot of money by leaving New York? Yes. Does he really want to win a championship in New York? I really believe so. But if this season just goes awful, I mean, like, Amari, what is he going to do for him? From what I saw last night, I barely even recognized Amari when he was on the floor.
What were his minutes last night? Like 11?
Yeah. I mean, Bargnani is, I think he'll slowly get better, but I don't know that the Knicks are really doing what's needed to make him feel like he can win a title there. They're not really putting the pieces around him for success. And, Amari was there already, and they probably shouldn't have used the amnesty on Chauncey. They probably, in hindsight, I'm sure they probably used it on him. Should have used it on him, But if the season goes bad, you can't tell me that he's not at least going to explore his other opportunities.
I completely
and
agree.
Kobe Bryant is his guy. It's one guy that he certainly listens to in the NBA is Kobe Bryant. And Dwight didn't want to take that torch there. And I think Carmelo lives there in off season. His wife's an actress. He likes to play pickup ball at the Clippers facility in the summer. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for him to go to the Lakers.
So that's choice 1 for him.
To say now, he's smart to say now, I want to be here, blah, blah, blah. It's probably smarter not to say anything. But until it's all over, if they get knocked out in the first round of the playoffs, all bets are off, man.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. His history is there for all to see, and there should be no surprises at this point. I think that's basically it with Carmelo Anthony. And I understand what the guys on TNT's desk are saying, that real superstars attract. But
if it's from a different era, too.
See that, but that's a part of their arguments.
Barkley didn't
Yeah.
go to Houston, right?
But also, well, Jordan didn't do this and Bird didn't do that. Well, it's different times.
Barkley went to Houston to try to get a title, didn't he?
Yeah, you're right. It's just, I hate when they go down that road.
Why is it so bad that one of them other guys do it?
You're bang on. I completely agree with you.
They got revisionist memory. Didn't Shaq jump around a little bit? Didn't he go to Cleveland?
He wasn't he on 3 teams in 2 weeks at the end of his career? Something like that?
He went to Cleveland, tried to get a title there, went to Boston, so come on.
He would go to a new team. He'd go to a new team, jump into the first row after a loose ball for 2 games, act like he's hustling, and then get hurt. And then on to the next one. And then on to the next one.
But they were loyal.
Yeah. I
It's
hear
a
you.
business.
I hear you. It is a business.
Man.
All right, Mark, appreciate it. Always. And have a good weekend. We'll talk soon.
All right, brother.
There was Marc Spears, Yahoo Sports.